Man, these lights are freaking trippy.
Yikes! Zoinks!
Zoinks! Well, folks, welcome to Watch With Us. I'm your host, Randy. Sitting next to me is...
Dana.
And...
Michael McFarland.
And today we have a very special treat. We are going to be watching Jaws 3 in 3D whilst filming in 3D. That's pretty freaking awesome. So hopefully you're able to see this in 3D. If you've got a VR device, Google Cardboard, you can watch this. You can also watch it on your 3D TV, or you can even watch it on your laptop if you have like some old like red and blue 3D glasses. YouTube will actually play it in 3D that way. We have the movie queued up to 3 seconds, and in just a moment we're going to be watching the movie in 3D whilst showing it in 3D. Yeah, all right. This is going to be ridiculous. We have it queued up to 3 seconds. The logo hasn't shown up. I'll give you some description so you know. Also, the 3D version of Jaws 3 is hidden in the extras.
Because that makes sense.
That makes sense. But whatever, it's there and you can watch it. So in 3, 2, 1. We are playing. The Universal logo is careening towards us. 6 seconds, 7 seconds.
MCA Company.
MCA Company, looking good. I'm going to set this controller down. Take a sip of water. Take a sip of my water.
Water!
Whoa.
Just like this first scene is under.
Oh, I see what you did there.
He said the word under. Made me think of underwear.
This movie is about underwear.
This is a movie about being underwater in 3D for some of the film.
I actually like that the opening feels like some of those like demo reels you can find of like, you know, for 4K TVs and all that.
I wonder if that was an intended thing to like kind of make it feel like a nature documentary, because you see this fish and the fish then just gets cut in half, and this is probably my favorite 3D effect right here.
Just immediately like
that fish coming right out. The
nice little fish head
floats out.
It rotates slowly.
Yes.
Just slowly rotating.
Whoa, watch your water, man. Don't spill on the props.
What? We don't have props for this.
No.
What are you talking about, Randy?
Everything is organic and natural here.
We wouldn't just put things up towards the screen because they're in 3D. That would be silly.
Jaws 3D. I used to call this one Jars when I was a kid.
Jars 3D.
I want to watch Jars.
That was what I sounded like, because apparently my parents showed this to me when I was 3.
I was gonna say, like, how early did your parents let you watch Jaws?
I was 6 years. Simon McCorkindale, man. Well, he's no longer with us. Very sad. Simon McCorkindale died, I believe, of cancer. John Pudge, if you're watching this, I hope you do, because you're awesome, and you're awesome in this movie. Leah Thompson, I also hope you're watching, because you seem like you'd watch this.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe. Send us a tweet if you did. Man, 3D shooting 3D while watching 3D is a trippy experience. Alan Parker's score is actually absolutely fantastic. I think it's Intradata or something. Just put out a brand new deluxe edition of that soundtrack with like about an hour of unused cues and all kinds of neat stuff. So yeah, I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm really stoked to get it, because I searched for the soundtrack to Jaws 3 for years. And on my 13th birthday, I ordered it from some record warehouse in California, had it in their warehouse, and they sold it to me, and I paid $36 for it.
Wow.
To get a record. And what it was is it was a promo record. It was never a released record. And so it was really, really hard to find this soundtrack. It was available for a very long time and then just sort of disappeared. And so I never got to listen to the score like in its entirety until I was about 13. And there's some themes in this that I really love. The use of violins is just fantastic.
Did that just say that the story was suggested by...
Yes, suggested by Peter Benchley, because they probably came to Peter Benchley and they were like, "Hey, Peter, can we do this?" And he was like, "Fuck you guys." No. And they did it anyway, because why not? There's Leah Thompson. She falls off.
Because she was flexing.
He was flexing her muscle. She was literally going,
flexing at the dude on the pier.
oh, man. Gosh. You know what? I don't know.
Can't quite see what's going on.
Can't see what's going
Yeah.
on.
It's a little dark. A little dark.
Weird.
That's strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel weird about that. The shark's gonna kill all of them right in the beginning of the movie.
Very beginning. All dead.
Everybody just
Credits.
This is a bloodbath from like the beginning. I just watched the movie Bait the other day, which was also in 3D. That was fun.
I'm not familiar. Is it? I
It's
presume a Jaws-esque film.
It's a fairly recent film from maybe I want to say like 2012 or so.
Okay.
2011, 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. And it is a film about a tsunami that hits the coast of somewhere in Australia, and these people get stuck in like basically an underground grocery store.
Okay.
And there are two great white sharks inside that got flushed into the grocery store that are swimming around, are very scared and very hostile. And so, like, it's a tense situation from, like, the moment that happens. It's not a good movie. I'm not gonna, like, say, like, oh, no, it's a really good movie. No, it's actually really terrible. But if you're somebody who just likes, like, fun shark stuff, it's good.
Fair enough.
It's fine.
So Randy, you actually worked at SeaWorld.
I did.
For a time.
I did.
So did you get that like lecture about the length of your shorts?
Did they
and
tell
what
you?
was permissible?
We did.
Did they tell you not to show any cheek?
They actually did.
So that's actually a unisex like lecture.
That is not just normally you sit and you watch if I recall correctly, I have no idea what it was. This was probably 20 years, 15 years ago now.
Okay.
It was a video that you watched, and they had a whole thing about it.
All right, so it's actually based on a bit of reality then.
What I think is really weird is that a PR event is going on at the same place where like a bunch of girls are being trained.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seems like a really like random like why sort of thing. I don't get it. 3D. Yeah. There's Louis Gossett Jr., who's fantastic in this movie.
I recall him being great in this.
I think everybody is actually pretty damn good in this movie. I know that like it gets a lot of because it's not a real. I mean, this Jaws 3D is not good. Like in terms of as a sequel to Jaws, no. I saw somebody say that like this is a series that starts out with a B movie bubblegum premise and makes a masterpiece out of it. And by the end of the series, is back to being a B movie bubblegum like film.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And for me, this film is an attraction. It's not a movie. It's a ride. And it feels like a ride. You're at SeaWorld.
Absolutely.
The shark is attacking a lagoon. It's attacking a brand new ride. So you kind of feel like you're on the ride.
So this was filmed at an actual SeaWorld,
This
correct?
is filmed at an actual SeaWorld, which is a landlocked park.
Okay.
There is no lagoon that connects it to the open ocean.
Gotcha.
As the open ocean is like 2 hours away. So, yeah. It's also weird to be hosting the PR event with the stadium in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
But that's probably for the 3D effect, because that's a pretty cool 3D effect.
It is like the depth that you see of the layering, the layers, the layers that go further and further back.
What was that again?
The layers that go further and further back.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool effect.
Man.
Hey Dana, could you pass me that popcorn?
Ooh.
Popcorn sounds good.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh, oh. Yeah. Let me take a few.
Ah, thank you, Randy.
Would you guys like some?
You can share the popcorn.
This is the most gimmicky commentary we've ever done. You know what? It's supposed to be gimmicky. It's freaking 3D.
And we did ourselves up with the emo hair for Spider-Man 3, and this is the most gimmicky one.
This is the most gimmicky one.
It's alright. I'm cool with it.
Dana was naked for the Star Wars Force Awakens trailer.
Well, we didn't have video for that one.
As
so
a
you couldn't
child,
tell.
this is the very first continuity error I ever discovered. Notice he has a white shirt on here.
Mm-hmm.
White shirt. White shirt. White shirt. White shirt. What?
Oh!
Blue and light blue. Because I'm a guy.
White
and
shirt.
back to white shirt. With rainbow pants. God,
Yeah,
those pants.
So rainbow.
He takes that shirt off, he can go right down to a pride parade and be ready to rock and roll.
Oh, yeah.
I want those pants. This is the 80s where like everybody basically dressed like they were, you know, they just wanted their balls and dicks to hang out and like their butt cheeks.
And it's amazing that they didn't more often. Like, it's surprising that you don't see tons of photographs from this era of just like dongs dangling
Cheeks.
out of shorts.
This lady's a real trainer.
Yeah.
So I know like a lot about this movie, like a dorky amount of information because I worked at SeaWorld and I knew people who had worked on this film. Probably won't give away too many crazy stories, but I do know that the trainers were opposed to this scene right here. Because putting somebody on a whale who's not interacted with the whales is very dangerous, and yeah, Universal wanted it, so it happened. Thankfully, Bess Armstrong looks like a trainer, so the whale probably didn't even know. The whale was probably like, "Oh, that's just a trainer.
Yeah,
She's got a trainer outfit. She's got that short hair."
Believable.
She kind of looks like this other lady.
But it turned out okay. They put her on a very young whale, and she was very friendly.
Do you know which whale this actually is? Here?
I don't anymore. I have forgotten. But yeah, this is crazy that they did this. People are really angry with SeaWorld now. Woo!
Yeah, if they were shooting
And-
a movie at SeaWorld.
And truth be told, this is before Anheuser-Busch owned the park, and a lot of what you see in Blackfish is kind of from this era.
Okay.
When Anheuser-Busch sort of bought over the park, there was a little bit of a switch, and the tone changed. I don't know what the tone is like at SeaWorld anymore, so I can't really comment on it. But, you know, I can comment on what I know, which is they would never in Anheuser-Busch years, ever in a million years,
Have allowed this.
have allowed this. Because it's dangerous. It's a magnificent animal.
But
Yeah,
so
there's-
cute.
you know,
It
New
is.
Yorker's nickname is the killer whale. It's not just something you should fuck
It's
with. Like.
Yeah.
adorable.
Killer whale ain't nothing to fuck with. Look at Philip Fitzrice. Look at him. You know, I bet a certain Steven Spielberg, or as the bootleg version of Raiders of the Lost Ark I had on DVD back in the day, Setvin Spielberg.
Setvin Spielberg.
Setvin
Yes.
Spielberg probably
From the old
watched
country.
this. I have a feeling he watched this and he said, "That guy, Simon McCorkindale. I want that look for Muldoon and Jurassic Park."
Look what a baby Dennis Quaid is. I just
Oh,
want to pinch his little cheeks. Ooh.
There's John Putch, the legendary John Putch, who's now a filmmaker. He's directed quite a few films, including, not that this is going to help his credit at all, but Atlas Shrugged Part 2. I think he directed that one. I think he directed one of them.
Okay.
If I'm incorrect, John Putch, I don't know. But he's directed a lot of stuff I like, and you probably know him as Wesley Crusher's friend in an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. He is a blue alien.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
That's where Michael
You
knows him.
know who I'm talking about.
I do.
He's when Wesley has to take the exam.
The Starfleet Academy entrance exam.
Yep.
He's the blue one that has the little thing that
the little fishy tendril
Oh.
things.
I know of whom we speak.
I just pinched my nipple in 3D. I just pinched my nipple in 3D. Ooh, shit's getting kinky.
Hey, when you got 3D,
man.
you take advantage of it.
What the hell?
Why are you keeping an axe under your
Why do
chair,
I have
Andy?
an axe?
I'm a little bit.
I bet I know why.
Why?
Because Shelby Overman's about to get murdered.
Oh, with an
That's
axe.
right.
With-
He's about to get his
He-
ass killed.
He could really use that right now on those
Yeah.
chains.
He
I
could.
imagine that would be useful.
Oh my god. Do you want to feel the weight on that?
Oh yeah, let's feel the weight on that axe.
Ah.
It's got a nice straight shaft.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Would you care to see that, Axton?
I would. Whoa.
Slower.
Whoa.
Get that 3D effect to really work. We want this to be as gimmicky as possible.
I think
Very,
we're hitting
very
that
heavy,
target.
though.
We are
I
hitting,
think we're hitting that target.
hitting the target.
Right on line.
Arm effect. Look at that. Look at that 3D. Cut that arm off.
Yeah, exactly.
Cut that arm off before it's gone.
Chop it off. Chop. Oh, this is the greatest day of my life.
Oh, man.
This is going to go down in commentary history.
We'll go down in commentary history as one of the most pointless, amazing commentaries. No, I know a lot about this movie. This is really funny because this is actually about a year or two before Anheuser-Busch owned SeaWorld. And there's a guy with a shirt that says "Property of Budweiser," which is like a weird foreshadowing.
Nice. Yeah, I figure that this will end up being an entertaining commentary regardless, because you kind of have an encyclopedic knowledge about this film.
I
so
do.
You can like fill in the commentary part, and we'll just fill the rest with gimmicks.
When I was young, I had all the dialogue memorized.
I had that same thing for the Disney Robin Hood movie.
Yeah, it's weird
Yeah,
that
that was-
random. It's not like this. I mean, I loved this movie. I still love it. I watch this movie probably once a year. It's not a good movie. Do not get me wrong. It is in no way would I consider it a masterpiece. But in terms of cult film, it's pretty great. Yeah, this is the guy with the Property of Budweiser shirt. Hey, they're playing standoff. They're laughing because that dialogue just happened. Hopefully you heard it there. And the Western States.
I mean, it's not like this film has such riveting dialogue that
Yeah.
it would embed itself. You just watched it that many times.
Riveting dialogue in 3D. I am sad that we don't have a shark, like a little one of those little
Yeah.
claw things.
I actually-
we almost bought one.
I
the other day,
tried.
but it
I
was
tried
like
to
10
find
bucks.
one. I was at my parents' house earlier, and I'd remembered having one of those as a kid. But
Yeah.
I only found one that was shaped like a bear head, and
Yeah, it doesn't
it didn't.
work.
It's not as thematic.
We do have something else. Do we want to hold on it?
I think we could begin that.
I think that could
Yeah.
come out because it.
they're
doesn't-
just playing standoff.
They're just
right
playing
now.
standoff right now, which we could
She's
always
gonna
try
say
doing.
no fair.
We could try doing that in 3D.
So, we have for you today 3D Shark Ride On. Ah.
Hopefully this is all out in focus. I'm suddenly like, I have no idea whether that's in focus.
If not, it's still in 3D.
It's still in 3D. You're still
Oh,
gonna see it.
jeez.
Oh, here.
So how
Yeah.
large is this thing actually going to be once it's
It's gonna be
inflated?
basically human size. So this is a 3D blow up thing that we're gonna spend the next few minutes blowing up whilst we watch the movie. Oh my god, this is gonna be so big. Oh, I'm so glad we didn't blow it up before we start filming. This is gonna be hilarious.
Do you want me to blow it up since you have more things to say about the
Oh, absolutely. I was gonna suggest we rotate on it.
Actually, I got the
You got the blowhole?
I got the blowhole right over here, so I'll start. I'll take first shift at blowing.
Oh, this thing smells terrible.
It smells like plastic.
Yeah.
100% like fresh plastic.
Oh god, yes.
Getting high all up in the commentary here.
Let's see, you think this is a bite valve? Okay, cool.
It's all
Does it
in my
pull out?
eyes.
It
John
does pull out.
Pudge.
There we go.
Look at John Pudge. This seems like a scene that they added later on, just so there was another death randomly in the movie, because it doesn't
yeah.
really connect with the rest of the film. That is really loud. This may not work. We maybe should have
It's
blown it
okay.
up. No, you know what? I have a bike thing down here.
Oh, hey!
I don't know if it'll be any quieter, but we can pump it up in 3D.
We have a bike pump.
Let's see if we.
Flicking everybody off as I do it. 3D
Let's see.
commentary. It's
Let's
a
see
gimmick
if I
as
can
we
make
can
this
get.
happen, because I think it's the sound of the air going in and not
Yeah,
actually
it
the
is.
air coming out of my lungs.
No,
That's the problem.
it's just the same.
Yeah.
Tapping
It
into the
might go
vinyl.
faster, though.
It's a bite valve though, so I
No,
don't think it'll
it's
work.
It's not gonna work.
So we'll have to put this bike pump
Good luck.
back down.
I'll
It's all right.
take that.
It's all right.
If we want, someone could step out and blow it up.
I can do that.
Ooh, 3D effect.
Oh,
There's a 3D effect right there.
Right there.
Right where? There. 3D.
Oh.
That wasn't really in 3D though.
Do you want me to take it to the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's starting to inflate. It's getting there.
there.
It's
For all
getting
of
there.
our- for-
Actually, I think there are two different bladders, and the
it's a-
blue one's
well, it's 'cause
almost full.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
3D.
That it is. It's a multi-dimensional shark.
Good luck. So while Dana is gone, we'll just talk about Dana. What do you really think about Dana?
She's alright.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's just
I mean, she can blow up a shark. That's for sure.
blow up a shark like nobody's business. Little baby brother. Making fun of him here. These scenes are pretty miserable to watch in 3D. I'm not gonna lie. I remember I actually saw this film in theaters right here in Cleveland, Ohio. Capitol Cinemas played this film in 3D, and I saw it about 4 years ago in 3D.
Nice.
And these scenes were insufferable because it's way too dark for 3D to be effective.
Right. Yeah, you can't see
It barely even looks like 3D.
anything. Yeah.
And it's ugly in general. You can't see the actors' faces. Something tells me they didn't want to shoot sound, and so they just shot this without sound. And then they realized it would be really hard to sync it, so they made it really dark and shadowy.
So you can't see the mouths moving.
Your mouths move, so you can't see that it's out of sync. And every once in a while, you can tell that it is in sync, but I'm sure that's why they made it so dark. If you know, if Joe Alves, the filmmaker who worked on this, who gets a lot of shit for this film, and I really don't. Again, Joe, if you're watching, I love your movie, man. I think it's like seriously awesome. Like it's not. I mean, it's not Jaws, and it's not even Jaws 2, but it is Jaws 3, and that's a good thing. I just love it, and I'm so happy to be able to see it in 3D finally. It's just like unbelievable. I have been tweeting Universal for like an asshole for like 40
Like an asshole.
like a piece of shit asshole.
You just had it marked on your calendar like the first of every month, like tweet Universal about releasing Jaws in 3D.
I did set a reminder at one point to tweet them every couple of months to I wanted all of them to be I wanted all of them to be be released on Blu-ray. And they eventually did put them out on iTunes, but it was only I think in 720. And I don't really know what the wait was. Maybe just to because I think this year was an anniversary of Jaws. Maybe God, I don't even know, 35, 40, 40 maybe. I don't know. I don't know. If you know, let me know. 1975. Oh, no, we just passed the anniversary. So. Yeah. Anyway, they randomly put them out like a week ago, which was like them. June 7th or June 14th, I think they put them out.
Are we going to get to see 3D boobs here?
We don't get this as a PG. The film is, though, I mean, thus far the violence is pretty R-rated.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He seriously hurt himself. John Putch.
He had to land pretty well to make
Did you get hurt in that scene, John?
But yeah, with like the severed arm, like with bones just sticking out of it, the two bones. That's
later on when they find Shelby Oberman, it's like it's gross. I mean, it's the most R-rated thing I think I've ever seen. It's way more violent than like Gremlins or Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Like I think it's more violent than those films by far.
Were those also PG?
I believe so, though Gremlins may have been re-rated.
Okay.
It's more violent than the first Jaws, which just has like the one leg and then the eye popping forward. But this has already done that, and we're barely in the movie. He just remembered he was wearing shoes there. He was like, "Oh, my boots! I forgot I was wearing shoes. I forgot
I had boots on my feet. I was gonna walk into the ocean wearing cowboy boots. That's a brilliant idea.
That's a recipe for sinking. Come on in, Sean. Come on." The way she says that's pretty much the way people who might know this movie who are watching this commentary are like, that's
Yeah, so
It's really weird to
we're
learn.
watching with subtitles on,
Yeah.
so if he nailed that, that's all in his head. It's not like he just heard it
Yeah.
and then said it. So assuming that was accurate, that's from having watched this movie a whole lot of
An
times.
embarrassing amount of times. No, this is like some people say like, oh, my favorite movie is this.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite movie is The Shawshank Redemption,
Right.
Jaws,
Right.
The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, Citizen Kane, all the like the generic ones, and I most surely would agree all of those are wonderful films. But I also there was in the episode of Friends. The secret favorite movie of I believe Monica was Weekend at Bernie's, and this is my Weekend at Bernie's. This is my secret favorite film. I just love it.
So probably my favorite film is Catch Me If You Can.
Ooh, yeah, it's a good one.
My secret favorite one though, which I think there might be a Midnight Confessions about in the near future, is Waterworld. I love Waterworld.
What?
Yep. I do.
You want to know what? I love Waterworld too.
Yes!
Underrated film.
Absolutely.
And if you disagree, all you motherfuckers out there. Oh, look at that. I just shined the light right on him.
Right on him.
Right on him. I'm matching Dennis Quaid right now. Dennis Quaid's in this movie. What the fuck is that all about?
He's so young. He's like a baby.
He's like a baby.
I think we already made that joke.
We did.
Like pinching his cheek, so I can't do that again.
He pretty much did this movie because he wasn't sure that The Right Stuff was going to be like a big hit.
Okay.
And then it was, and basically was just stuck in this crappy movie. That kind of happened with Michael J. Fox too, who ended up doing like Teen Wolf around the time of Back to the Future, and like did not want Teen Wolf to get released because he didn't like it. And
he's like, wait, I was in a really good movie.
I really like.
I actually like Teen Wolf.
It's not
a
a good
as well.
movie, but it's a formative movie. I grew up watching it.
Yeah. I don't mind the second one either.
I kind of like the second one. I actually think the second one, if the second one were the first movie, it'd be better. I think the second movie is a stronger film. I like that we're getting way off topic, but it's not like the movie is off topic too. The movie is like
this is
rolling around
completely
in the sand.
on point of like rolling around in the sand.
Why are they like? I don't even know. Apparently, I just died too. I like here the shark eats the guy, and then the shark eats the boat too. The shark was really hungry.
Like, I'm gonna eat a person. That's not enough. I need to eat a
sound.
boat too.
And then he goes, ooh. The sound effects here are awesome. And again, from memory, I know what they sound like. What is this? Is this like a weird incestuous orgy that's about to happen?
We can
Or,
only hope.
My god, the shark is coming.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. That's the thing.
Da-dum, da-dum.
Watch your foot.
Just take it.
Okay. Here we go. Oh my god.
Oh, lordy. That is gigantic.
I'm a little dizzy right now, guys.
So this... Oh, shit.
Watch the lights.
Watch the lights. The dog does not eat on the counter.
Nope. The shark does, though. This
is a mother of a shark. This is...
Oh,
Probably.
No! We're okay.
we're good.
We're okay, folks.
So tell me, is this
We're
significantly
good.
larger than you anticipated it
Yes,
was
it
going
is.
to be?
Is it just gonna sit there for the remainder of the
No, I think we should probably take him out of the frame.
Okay.
Just because he's very cumbersome, but amazing. And I'm glad that you blew him up. And you all
Bye,
at home got to
everyone.
see him.
That is incredible.
Thank you for blowing that up. It was amazing.
That is
Okay.
astoundingly large. I hope we find many more uses.
Just right on top there. Should be
Many
good.
more uses for that in the future.
Yeah. Ooh, funny penis joke.
Ah, I missed the funny penis.
There was a penis joke. He got him with a. You missed it by this much, and he says, "This much, huh?" And he says, "Oh, shut up," kind of thing.
nice little zinger.
Smart.
If tape, folks, at any point is coming into the screen, that is actually a frame marker. If you look on Permanently Geek, you can actually see. We'll post pictures of how we had to do this. So we hooked two cameras up and got the parallax set, and then set some C-stands here and attach tape across the top to let us know where the borders of the frame are.
Yep.
So hopefully, if everything goes well, you're seeing this and it looks good in 3D.
Yep.
If it looks terrible, you can let us know, but trust me, I will be my biggest critic because I love 3D, and if it's not good, I'm going to be really disappointed myself. So you'll just be adding insult to my own personal Don't worry, I'll just,
Just
My
wallow in
feelings
self-pity
aren't
for a while.
hurt.
No big.
no big deal. My feelings aren't hurt. Anybody who doesn't know what that line is from, that's from The Night Before. I almost forgot the title of it. The Night Before, which has a Michael Shannon in probably one of the greatest scenes ever.
I've not watched it yet, but I've heard you guys quote it quite a few times.
Michael Shannon plays a drug dealer.
It's all right,
He's the
my
greatest
feelings
drug
aren't
dealer.
hurt.
Yeah.
She
He
just slapped that dolphin in the face.
no.
It's not very nice.
It looked like it.
She gave them.
From that angle, it looked like she slapped him in the face.
They still use that. Well, they did back when I worked there. I still use that technique. Dolphins. Why did this one start?
Yeah,
drooping?
why is that one droopy?
I don't know why it's so droopy.
It's all droopy.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Oh
Ooh.
my God!
Danger, danger.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's not. Could you check and see if it's in frame? Do me a favor.
Find out
Looks-
if it's drooping badly. We all right?
Folks,
The
we're
magic of cinema.
We're
Okay.
good. All right.
good.
Everything's fine. You have no idea what just happened
You
because
all
you didn't
don't
see
know.
it because
You don't know.
everything's perfect.
'Cause we did this-
Everything is A-OK. Rock and roll.
Yeah. That's right. Good. Then perhaps drinking some dinner tonight.
He's wearing,
Little
like-
James Bond.
It's wearing like Freddy Krueger colors.
That's a trainer joke right there, because the trainers don't call them tricks; they call them behaviors.
Ah.
And he starts off the thing by saying, "If those are the best behaviors, I'd hate to see the worst." And then she comes back with, "That's a behavior I don't do." She doesn't go out with snooty manimal.
Snooty manimal.
What I don't understand is he does not turn into an animal at any point in
At
the
any
film.
point. And with all the possibilities of like 3D transformation into an animal, it doesn't happen.
The reason why he's on there is, fun fact, is the producers of this film actually produced Manimal.
Okay.
And the people who put this together, originally it was going to be a parody film. It was not going to be what you see now. It was going to be more of a 1941 Spielbergian spoof. But that idea got torpedoed. They once again, I think, pondered the idea of doing the story of the Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
But just that idea never really came together. And then basically the rights went up for sale, and this TV producer bought the rights to the film and made this.
Okay.
Which is why this one doesn't really fit in canon. As you've got characters in this one who, Mike Brody is much older than he should be. He was probably like 17 in 1978, and now he's like probably late 20s in 1983. And you cannot say that this is another year. You can be like, oh, this is 1987. No, this is 1983.
Yeah, look at what they're wearing. Look at some of the outfits. This is not 87.
Oh, I just remembered that I have a shirt that just says 1983 on it. I should have worn that
Oh yeah.
instead of my Amity shirt.
You have your Amity Island.
do have
I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say
yeah.
that's a very appropriate piece of attire
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, this one, because when you watch Jaws: The Revenge, he's no longer an engineer. Now he's about to get his doctorate in oceanography, which is like kind of what her job is here. She's a doctor. She has an oceanography degree. But they changed that because I don't know. Because Jaws: The Revenge was trying to decanonize this film. You may notice here that the visual effects are fucking horrible.
What are you talking about?
In fact, you're going to see the effects are so bad that, one, this right here is probably the single that is terrible. That's terrible. And then upcoming here where there was
no, that's good.
there was a angle switch. This is going to come at you, and then as it banks, you're going to see a green screen underneath it. You ready for it?
Here it
3,
is. Here
2,
it is.
1, go. There it is.
Oh.
And that's because the effects were not finished basically in time, and so they couldn't basically account for light, and you'll notice that everything has a green tint, and that's because they shot it on a green screen, and they didn't get to color correct any of the footage, and so all the visual effects footage basically of underwater stuff is really terrible, like that. And everything has a green.
It's got a green halo around
it. You'll even see later on when the lagoon is attacked. You'll see green reflection all over the place. And I've seen video footage or footage of what it looked like. They should have just kept it because it actually didn't look that bad. It looked kind of more underwater than it looks.
Ooh,
Could you hand me
skeleton
the
hand.
iPad, please?
I can do that, sir.
They call him Oscar. Again, from memory, because my head was down. I could even hum the music right now. That's how insane it is. All right, folks. I'm about to. Well, the reason why I have the iPad up is I'm going to look for a Jaws 3D website, and I'm going to give it out to you so you all kind of know what it is. There is a wonderful Jaws, or there was. I don't know, maybe it's not up anymore. Yeah, it is. There it is. Yeah, I believe it's a French site. It's actually. I don't have my iPhone stuck in headphone mode anymore. I can kill that tab. It's jaws-3d.com. If you go to jaws-3d.com, this is a website which appears to maybe not be working. I don't know, but this used to be an absolutely wonderful website. Maybe I'll tweet out the guy who used to run the site and see what's going on. But if you're a fan of Jaws 3D and you want some resources, jaws-3d.com is where to go. Just a wonderful, wonderful website.
Good to know.
Don't know whether it works on mobile or not. I hope it's still
Yeah,
up.
I was going to say maybe it's flash-based and
It might be
doesn't work
flash-based.
on iDevices.
Well, the dolphins here are telling them, GTFO, there is a shark. If there were subtitles, I was saying, this guy's a shark!
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 That's what that eel's saying. That's a moray.
Eel. Squeaking excitedly is what the subtitle.
Now it's just squeaking. I assume you're supposed to know that it's excitedly by the fact that it's shaking its head back and forth.
That looks like a fake dolphin. I'm gonna guess they have fake dolphins.
It's probably about the
Whoa! The shark just attacked them.
Oh no!
By ramming into a wall and then backing up.
Which is standard shark move.
That's a standard shark move to back up. Everybody knows sharks can back up.
Yes, sharks can swim backwards.
Yep.
We're all aware of
The
that.
Jaws franchise is pretty notorious for having them. People always credit Jaws the Revenge with having roaring sharks, but the shark actually roars in almost all of them.
Thank you, Michael.
Of course.
I do actually like. I don't really like how the footage is sped up, but I really like this. The idea is kind of goofy but fun, like riding dolphins. Not that the dolphins are really gonna move them that much faster than they can ride swim.
You know,
I like that there's a live ski show going on right now. If you look in the background, there is an actual ski show going on because there's people in the stands.
Oh, like a
Like,
Yeah, this is
for
like a-
realsies
like a
at
SeaWorld
SeaWorld.
ski show.
There's a SeaWorld ski show going on in the background.
I'm like, well, we don't need to shut down that part of the park for filming.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
They were taking way too long to get out of the water.
Mhm.
Like how they threw their like goggles off first.
You're like, yeah,
Like,
that's
I'd be
not a
like, I'm
priority.
gonna get out of the water as quick as possible.
right.
Yeah.
If you notice, he's now wearing the outfit. That guy is wearing the outfit that.
That they did the reshoots in?
Yeah. Why does he not know what the shark is? This guy here, maybe I'll put a link up to Jaws 3D with subtitles for P.H. Moriarty. That is the lovely P.H. Moriarty, who's probably best known for Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Oh, yeah.
He's an absolutely fantastic actor, but his accent is nearly indecipherable.
So the fact that we're watching with subtitles, probably we're getting a better idea of what he says.
Absolutely.
Than,
We are getting a better... There are times where I had no idea what he was saying throughout my youth, and I had all these ideas as to what he was saying that didn't make any sense. like a dummy ignored a bleeding elk, which is something I thought he said later on in the movie. I'll point out when it is. And for years, I would just say that. I would just say a dummy ignored a bleeding elk. Just as like a random nonsensical thing to say.
That's some old school Permanently Geek stuff there.
Yeah. Goes way back. Yeah, that's Permanently Geek before Permanently Geek was...
Well, there's a reason we say permanently, folks.
Permanently Geek was a little sperm back then.
You know, the channel might be less than a year old right now, but we've been here for years.
Been on YouTube for about 5 years. That was like one of my first videos.
This is pretty much how we've always watched movies.
Mm-hmm.
We said one day, let's put a microphone up.
Yep.
Don't give away our secrets. Don't tell them we have microphones.
Yeah, that's actually the secret behind most of the Permanently Geek shows. Is like, what do we do when cameras aren't on?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, let's put on some cameras and put it on the internet.
Look at those pit stains. Man.
Wow.
Whoa.
D-Quaid, what are you doing? Also, what's R-Quaid doing? My God. D-Quaid, you got the good genes.
Well, at least the more mentally stable ones.
Yeah. Well, that we know of. I don't know anything about D-Quaid. D-Quaid, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insinuate that you're mentally unstable. Because I actually don't know. Maybe you are. Look at McCorkindale. I should gift that.
Which is an excellent name.
That's a
McCorkindale.
Simon
You
McCorkindale.
sly motherfucker.
I'm really sad that he passed away. I would have loved to have put him in something at some point. Just put Manimal in a movie. Okay.
P.H. Moriarty just really likes saying governor. Governor.
Not if my gump gets zit burst. Pictures of it nursing it back to health. This has never worked out well. Again, look at the 3D layering here. You got these sort of fan things, these little sun catcher things, and then
Lacy wafting
all
banners.
the poles, look the way it's shot. This is a really awesome 3D effect right here. Actually, it's just because we haven't done one in a little while.
Exactly. Seems a shame not to.
Whoa! We just got wet.
Got in my eye. I didn't like that at all.
3D, ladies and gentlemen.
Behold the power.
Behold the majesty of 3D. This is the She-Ra sword, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From
And
my
if you
kindergarten Halloween costume.
Excellent.
turn it all the way around, it's an alien penis. You can see.
I absolutely can.
That's an alien penis.
There's no way around that.
That's
Only over it.
an alien penis.
Enjoy, folks.
Stop desecrating my She-Ra sword.
I have no idea whether that even came out in 3D, but we'll see.
We'll find out.
Let us know in the comments below.
Let us know how you felt about the alien penis.
I'll be like, oh man, I really tried. I tried to get the 3D right. It's the first time. We thought of the idea on Wednesday. So that's not actually true. I actually wanted to do this for months, but had not actually tested the rigs. Just because getting the rigs to work seemed like it would be a very difficult thing to do. So,
But the test footage turned out exceptionally well.
test
So,
footage turned out exceptionally well
decided
as
to
well.
pull the trigger on it tonight.
And we didn't have Jaws 3D at the time, which is the film that you really wanted to
Yeah,
Of course.
save this for.
Chapping Her Majesty's ordnance. That's what he's thinking right now. This guy's like, why the fuck did I do this movie? I like, because it's like a good disaster movie. My God. I mean, I can't believe SeaWorld said, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a really
let's-
unusual thing to agree to. Like, let's allow a disaster movie set in one of our parks.
That has to do with animals.
That
Right.
has to do with an animal getting inside the park that we capture and accidentally kill.
Mm-hmm.
And then another animal that just nearly destroys the park and kills like about 3 people.
Right. Like, this is the equivalent of if there were an actual Jurassic Park
I was just thinking
that
that.
allowed Jurassic Park to be filmed at the actual Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're seeing here.
That's literally what it is. This is Jurassic Park at Jurassic Park. Why would they do this? No wonder Anheuser-Busch owned them like a few years later.
Yeah.
Good
Like if you're
Lord.
making PR decisions like that, like yeah, sure, that's gonna make our customers feel incredibly safe and comfortable.
It probably the summer they shot this, I bet they did have a spiked attendance because people were probably like, "Whoa, they're shooting a Jaws movie at SeaWorld? That's incredible!" And what probably the biggest letdown to it, I mean, outside of the fact that it's not really a good follow-up to Jaws 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
But like probably the biggest letdown for me is the fact that you don't have enough animal interactions. It's not orca versus killer whale, which is what when you hear
Have
Jaws
they made that
3
movie
at
yet?
sea. No. Asylum, get
orca,
on that.
Orca versus shark.
Orca versus shark.
Right.
Yeah, orca versus
Great white.
killer shark.
Yeah, I was
Killer
gonna say
whale
like
versus killer shark.
I'd watch that movie.
Yeah, I'd watch the shit out of that movie. And that's something that governor. That's something that like just that doesn't happen in this movie. And it probably I'm gonna guess when they scripted it, it probably did. And I'm gonna guess SeaWorld was like, we're already letting you put her on the whale.
We're not gonna let the whale fight.
Gonna let
shark.
the whale fight the shark.
And
It's a fake shark.
Otherwise, would have had to been like all special effects, and I can't imagine that they had the competency to do a believable orca versus great white fight.
They do have the dolphins fight
Okay.
the shark toward the end of the film, but that's a little like underwhelming. How it clearly it just didn't quite work the way they envisioned it. I think they envisioned sticking the shark into a pool, and then letting the dolphin sort of attack it, but that's not really going to happen, and like that seems like incredibly unsafe and dangerous. So I'm glad it didn't work.
You should bust out the flashlight in this scene.
I was gonna say
I did bust it out when during the other flashlights.
Oh, that was
You were you
were huffing and
blown
puffing and inflating a gigantic fucking shark.
I can't even bring it back on the set. It's just too big.
It's just too big. It's awesome though. Let us know in the comments if you liked our blow up shark and if you want to see it in another video.
I think it's pretty neat that it's got the like secondary bladder inside. That's like the
3D
like,
bladder
spine of the shark essentially.
Yeah,
It's pretty neat.
pretty rad.
I want to go to a pool party. Somebody invite me to a pool party so I can bring that shark.
Yeah,
I mean-
invite us to a pool party, people.
Come on.
Dude, let us know when you're having a pool party. And
We'll be
come.
there. We'll be there with the shark.
Hopefully, you live in Cleveland.
yeah.
Cleveland, Akron area.
Somewhere in
please.
Northeast Ohio. We'll
If
be
you
there.
Or-
don't live in Cleveland,
but you
then
wanna
want
pay
to
to
fly us out. Yes.
John
We'll bring-
Putch, if you want to have a pool party, fly us out. We'll come hang out with John
The
Putch,
shark-
co-star of Jaws 3D.
The shark requires his own seat on the plane, though, so it would have to be 4 seats. Just
No, I'm
make
gonna
sure-
smuggle that in down my pants.
We're not going to deflate him first.
I'm just gonna right in, get on the plane. I like how he West Side Stories the knife right there.
That's how I do my knife fighting.
Oh, Dana, could you go get me a knife?
I was just looking for something that would be an equivalent that we have down here.
We don't. We have the axe, which we've used.
And we use the Shira sword.
Yeah. We do have a lovely little Buddha guy here.
Oh, no, that looks from this side. That looks very suggestive.
It does. It looks a bit of penis there.
Slightly peen-esque.
Let's see. 3D, folks. People are like, I hate pop-out 3D. Why didn't they just make it all about depth?
See, I could have been sitting like here the whole time.
Yeah, you can.
And Dana could be standing behind us for the commentary.
Now you can see.
Yeah. So we're going to do it with just different layers of depth like this. And this is how we'll do the rest of the commentary.
Our weary traveler in 3 dimensions. Wow. That's so cool, I bet, for you guys at home, huh?
God,
so cool.
get over it already.
Here's the dummy bleeding. Here it is. Must ignore the ladies, and then he says, and don't ignore the bleed and help. But it sounds like he says a dummy ignore the bleed and elk.
A dummy ignored the bleeding elk.
And I was just like,
Ooh,
look at that knife.
That's a good looking knife.
Just
Fancy.
cutting right into the audience in 3D.
I am. You want to try?
Yeah.
Well, ooh.
Ooh, it's got...
It's got some holes and it's got some no seppuku.
No.
The 3D turned out well. The 3D turned out well, Randy. It looks good. It looks good.
Arigato.
No, this is West Side Story.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, this is Jaws 3. This looks like a lovely implement to eat popcorn off of. Let's see, can I get some popcorn kernels on here? I think I can. This is the way I'm about to eat this popcorn. Right off the knife.
That's amazing.
Oh! I don't get to eat the popcorn now.
You can just do it again. You should grind it up into a powder and snort it off the
Oh,
knife.
God. Please don't do that.
Doing lines of PC.
Your nose just starts bleeding.
So here's a really weird moment in the film that I always, it's like a little just goofy bit where the other actor who's been in here, who's like the other trainer, he was an actual trainer as well. And in most of the film, he has like kind of a normal like, "Hi guys, my name's blah blah blah." And then in this scene, he has what I'm gonna guess is his real accent, which is very, very hilarious, like Southern. It's like, "Didn't he give you any signs?" He like he's very like Southern Florida, like got that like kind of twang, and it's fantastic. And it's I don't know why they didn't redo that dialogue, because all the other dialogue he doesn't sound that way. This is one of those scenes where they couldn't think of anything 3D, so they just don't have 3D really. Sometimes I wonder. Well, this is a film that actually used a really unique version of 3D. I believe it's called AirVision 3D, which actually used the top and bottom of the 35 millimeter frame. And would shoot the image would actually create the parallax and record it right on the frame, and then all you needed was a special lens kit. That's the part.
Didn't he give you any signs?
Didn't he give you any signs? If you were listening to this, you all know I just got that right without hearing it. I like how that's like not even the same shark. That's like just a regular. There was a shark there. You could see it in the water.
Oh.
Silver Bullets. I actually saw this show back in the day. It was good. It was a really good show. There I am.
Oh
Actually,
gosh.
this is one of those.
Why does that girl have that turtleneck on in the middle of summer?
Because it's probably actually the middle of winter.
Oh my gosh.
Because the attendance would be low. This is one of those movies that I actually look for myself in. Because if time travel is ever a thing, I would totally go back in time to try being Jaws 3D.
And one of these times that you watch it, you just might see yourself and they do invent time travel.
Holy shit. Oh, look at that. There's this whole subplot about Shelby Overman going missing. You practically forget that he's like gone.
Yeah.
You're like, who the fuck is Shelby Overman? Oh, the guy whose arm was coming toward the screen.
Yeah.
That chopped off with an axe.
Chop. I got 1 million gallons of seawater flowing in the lagoon every hour. That was more like George W. Bush saying it.
Is he in this movie too?
Yeah, he's that guy right there.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Oh.
I thought he would have looked younger.
Oh, you just broke our...
Well, this was already broken off. I was trying to put it back on.
Oh.
And it disintegrated.
Oh, that's a sad story.
We live in Ohio where it's very cold in the winter.
I'm discussing our watering can here.
That's a shame that the tip broke off the watering can. That's a little bit sad. Oh.
Oh, wow, that's...
It's disintegrating.
Wow.
Bad.
Wow, okay. Yeah, we had, a couple years ago, folks, we had negative degree temperatures, like down to negative 30, and a lot of stuff in our garage is just fucked.
Not intended to be able to get that cold and survive.
Nope. I I don't know how I came upon it. Actually, I do. They were throwing a bunch of stuff out at SeaWorld, and I have the record of this show.
Hell?
I have a record of this show.
This is
Why is there a dancing pig in the show?
It's a sea pig.
It's like
Sea
a
pig.
tribute to the like kind of southerny stuff. Well, that's a cool effect.
Is that the Piggly Wiggly pig?
It looks like these guys are like, yeah,
Look
we're
at
awesome.
that.
Like, we're big on the
best."
pig.
Yeah, this was a good show. There's an airplane up there, flying overhead, bringing tourists to Florida. Some of this stuff is like really fun, and it's probably, I'm gonna guess, used in like SeaWorld shit, or was used for many years. I know like the one of the whale coming out was I saw for many years. One of the lovely orca.
Caroline in the city.
There she is, baby Caroline. Bumper boats. John Potch. I remember when I went to SeaWorld when I was a kid, I was really disappointed this wasn't here. I was like, "Where's the Undersea Lagoon?" Because I was like 6 or 7.
Like I saw it in the movie.
I saw it in the Jaws movie.
Whoa! And that's just 3D for like, you know, there's some 3D effects that you can justify, like plot wise, like, you know, all right, we're about to show the stuff we're gonna inject in it. We can show the setup of the syringe. That just like the giant tongue coming out at you. That's just because they felt like it.
That's
wanted
there
another
for,
pop out 3D
there's,
effect.
There's a ton of them here.
Whoa!
Tentacles.
10 of them?
Tentacles? Tentacles.
Tickle.
I think people would break the fuck out of those things.
Oh yeah, those would not last.
Yeah, this is not thought out. Casper.
Did you just say the line of the dolphin?
Yeah.
It's not only the human lines that he had memorized.
I actually don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of good sound engineering in this film. I actually think this is a pretty good example of it. Is pretty soon you're going to be hearing like a radio broadcast in the background that is talking about the shark that's on display, and you eventually will tune into it, but it's actually happening well before all of there you go. You kind of get to start to see that. It's sort of playing in the background, cluing characters in on what's going on.
Oh yeah.
I really liked how they did that, and
I was just cracking my knuckles. I feel like I should be doing that in 3D.
Great
White
Shark.
Shark. I'm gonna grab the cat. All right. I actually.
I thought you were talking about Dee Dee.
Like,
I was like, I don't know if we
Don't
want
do
her
that.
on set. I might.
I actually purchased this beast at SeaWorld. Really? Back when I worked there, yes, there was a store that closed, and I ended up buying this for about $2. And I've had it for many years, and it's freaked many of my friends out because of its dead eyes. So yeah, if you folks want to take a look at it here,
It can freak you out with its dead
there you go. I
eyes.
mean, you can kind of get a sense of it, maybe. Ooh.
That's a little suggestive there,
Oh
Randy.
my.
That's
My crotch right
Oh
there.
my.
It's
That makes me
a little
uncomfortable.
much. Right as you realize the shark is dead here, you're gonna hear a baby cry, and it's like one of the best things in the sound design. It flips over, and then there's a just really. Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, yeah. How much does this thing weigh? I've never actually picked it up.
It's pretty heavy.
It's got a good little bit of weight to
Oh,
it.
good little girth.
Yeah, I could carry it on my shoulder.
Ooh, like a
for
bazooka.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that Napoleon Dynamite motherfucker right there.
Check out the porn stash on that guy.
Damn, that's impressive. Yeah, it's good. It was a good purchase back in the day, you know.
He's been freaking people out ever
Been
since.
freaking people out for almost 15 years now.
He's watching.
Go ahead, photograph it. She hasn't said it yet. There it is. I still remember the dialogue. Yeah, I always wanted to ride the bumper boats, but they seemed kind of terrifying.
You know they have bumper boats not far from here.
Really?
Yeah, at Fun and Stuff.
Interesting.
They have
Ooh.
bumper boats at Fun
We
and
may have
Stuff.
to maybe film a bumper boat scene at
That would be acceptable. I'm always up for fun and stuff.
maybe we'll go to Fun and Stuff and shoot a
Yeah.
bumper boat scene
Yeah.
for Permanently
Let's do
Geek
it.
at some point in the future. In honor of Jaws 3D's bumper boat scene. And then we'll get attacked by a great white shark while we're there.
No,
Oh, man.
I'd rather
I hope
not. Yeah, it's one of those places that they have like the go-karts and the
Yeah.
bumper cars and the bumper boats and the mini golf and
Look at all that green reflecting on everything.
Green.
Everything is green.
But this is real.
I love here. So they're about to be shocked and scared by Shelby Overman's face, and then somebody is going to push the one girl like toward the glass, and like they'll make an effort to actually cut to a shot of the guy's hand pushing her.
That it's obvious like he's trying to freak her out by pushing her at the face.
Ah.
Ooh.
Again, earning that PG rating.
Wow.
Here we go. Here we go.
Why? Shoving her against
What
the glass.
sick bastard.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
Like,
there's
you
a
see
dead
an
person.
actual dead body. Like, I'm gonna push you right up against it.
That's your first reaction when you see that.
What a
This-
dick.
Yeah. Right? This right here. I mean, this is hard R what you're about to see here. I think, personally, this has always shocked the hell out of me.
Oh.
That, and like here,
Oh.
that's disgusting. And then
Yeah, that's the appropriate reaction.
retching is
Yeah.
accurate, though he never throws up. He just goes, oh, and he's done. Guy kind of looks like Peter Weller in the 80s. It's Shelby Overman. Yeah, we know.
No.
The audience figured that
shit.
out.
Pretty sure everyone.
These
figured
random people just. I like how she wants to see it, and they're all like, "You can't see it," even though she probably saw it when he pulled the thing back the first time,
Right.
because she was on the stairs. She was above him. But she's gonna pull it back, and you're gonna get to see it, and you'll even see down all the way down to his waist. You can see his intestines inside and stuff.
Wow.
It's gory. This is hands down to me the most gory thing I've ever seen
Oof.
in a PG film. Oh my god. His dick was huge.
Oh my god.
Shelby Overman had a really big dick. Oh, I don't know where the penis went. I don't want to grab the penis. It was this big. Oh my god. Hopefully I'm moving that slow enough for you folks at home. Let us know in the comments below. And if you say something mean,
You might just get to meet this here bat.
I'm going to come at you. With this slightly broken bat. I'm pretty sure there's a spot where it's broken. Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
It's actually broken. We broke this smashing something on plates.
Oh.
Whoops.
Whoops. We didn't know.
There have been a couple things that I've been surprised that Smashing Implement fared much more poorly than the actual game did. Like that 2x4 that you were building a little cat tree for Dee Dee.
Yeah.
We broke that 2x4.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had to get more 2x4s.
I was gonna say
so
I'm
I could build the.
I'm looking at the cat tree over here and I see fresh 2x4s.
Yeah. I love his delivery of the cost too much to replace and to burn out. That's why. You heard it just now. You know I got that right. I love his delivery on it. Louis Gossett Jr. can deliver like the best dialogue. The way he delivers dialogue is just amazing. They don't really give any backstory as to who he is. They mention something about his colorful past and that he is from like New Orleans.
Okay.
And his last name is Bouchard, who seems to have a
Right.
French, a little bit of a French background, going back with that New Orleans thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess they're trying to subtly imply maybe he was a circus promoter.
Okay.
And was brought on and doesn't want that to be mentioned because and that would explain his motivation for putting the shark on display is to get the attendance up.
Gotcha.
He's looking at it from more of a circus aspect. But because they don't really give you that, it kind of reads slightly racist.
Yeah, well, when you said colorful past,
Exactly.
I was like,
And everybody, when they say that in the movie, everyone kind of laughs. And I'm like, what, this seems racist.
That's the actual
Louis
phrasing they use is colorful past.
They actually say colorful past.
Wow, that's
Like,
not...
we'd like to avoid references to his colorful past. And then
Wow.
everybody, like, awkwardly chuckles. I'm like, is this a, like, because I have always read into it that he might have been, like, some kind of circus promoter and was used to that. I would love to know what Louis Gossett Jr., if you're you're not listening to this.
You're off doing something awesome. Who knows?
You're off being an awesome person, probably. So, I don't know. If anybody who knows the backstory for Calvin Bouchard, I'd love to know. This is the only Jaws film that doesn't have a novelization, and for many years I've considered writing it just for fun. But I don't have that much time. I'm way too busy to do something like that.
Just novelize.
Just novelize something for free.
Novelize Jaws 3D.
Universal,
for funsies.
if you're listening and you want to hire me, I would do it for like a couple $100. You know, you pay me like $500, I'll write a novelization to Jaws 3.
Wouldn't even have to watch it. You just do it from memory.
I could probably do it. Like, the hula dancers sparkled majestically as what's his name? Brody, like, runs through,
Gallops
through the crowd, careening toward the shore to stop the killer shark. That's just a sample.
It's pretty good. You should do an audiobook version of it.
I should. Sean Brody appears bored as he lingers next to his soon-to-be ex-girlfriend, wondering whether the solar power panel on his watch is still working.
Is that a calculator?
That's
It
a
sure
calculator
looks like
watch.
it.
John
Nice.
Putch, thank you for wearing a calculator. John Putch is the best.
Oh, fat dude on the bumper boat
I love
being
this.
a dick.
The
Oh,
popcorn
yeah.
falls off, and then all the kids immediately run and eat it. What are these, like, rabid children off in the distance?
I know,
here?
like, I'm not going to be picking this off the floor and eating it later on.
Our cat will. Does anybody have a dog? Let us know in the comments. We'll have a dog come and your dog can eat our popcorn. We'll leave it. We'll just leave it sitting here for a couple weeks. Oh, I remember those things. Those were amazing. Back in the 80s, those were the strollers were actually like little, mini orcas and
Oh, that's pretty
dolphins.
badass.
Oh, yeah.
and
That's super cool.
Yeah.
There's some popcorn.
Dry. Look at this, like, Star Trekian control room. It's amazing.
I know. All the, like, flashing... Was there something like that at the real SeaWorld?
No. I worked in one of the control rooms, and it did have some cool tech in it, but it wasn't nearly as... It was kind of like a bridge, though. It kind of felt like a bridge of the Enterprise. Whoa, you guys shoot, Brody? What the hell?
I think it was, like...
It's a real gun.
I think this is, like, a comedy show.
Wow, everybody thinks it's part of the show because the show's hokey.
Yep.
I actually, when the shark attacks, the level of sort of stress, like, to me, if you're going to go, like, Jurassic Park or Jurassic World versus this, I actually think this gets a theme park going awry, like, it gets it more right than, like, Jurassic World does. Because I was really annoyed when I watched Jurassic World. I like Jurassic World, but having worked at the theme park and knowing a lot of the procedures and protocols, it was like, this is not how this would... there would be so many contingency plans that wouldn't even be funny.
Yeah. Right.
Like, we had contingency plans for just about anything.
Right.
And it's one of those things where when disaster strikes, usually there is kind of a knowledge of what you're doing and how to get out of the situation. And I think this movie paints that pretty accurately. That, like, they get in there and they figure out immediately how they're going to get people out of the situation they're in, and they work on it, and they're working like crazy. The rest of the movie is them working to save people, which I think is really kind of unique and original. for me, that's really kind of that's the film's strong suit. I also really like the shark itself, and I like how he says hi to everybody.
Hi.
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 And like he makes this weird, like he sounds like he has a motorcycle inside of him because he's like every time he opens his mouth. Absolutely no one in the water when they fell in. You couldn't see any of the other bumper boats. It was just them. And the shark is the shark has picked the Brodies for some reason. He just man, the Brodies are really unlucky. You've got Sean and Mike here who just they have been attacked by sharks since Jaws 1, narrowly escaping each Jaws film until part 4 when Sean Brody dies.
Spoilers, God.
It was originally supposed to be Martin Brody, but I believe his exact quote that Roy Scheider said was something like, the devil couldn't even convince me to do that film.
I really like the ocean. I would love to live on the coast, but I think if I was the Brody family, I'd move to Iowa.
Yeah, I'm going to be...
I would not be a coastal family anymore.
Maybe if you still like really want to, like Cleveland.
Yeah. We got beaches.
Yeah, you're good
absolutely.
in Cleveland.
I can see Lake Erie from my house, and it's got lots of water. You can't see the other side. It's
and there's sharks.
There was
no
a brief moment right there where you could see Leah Thompson's boobies.
Ooh, I looked away.
You did.
Oh,
I was trying to point it out.
poor timing.
That's okay. My feelings aren't hurt.
Wait, what's the film with sharks in a lake?
Shark Night.
Shark Night.
Yes.
Which was originally supposed to be a freshwater lake, and then they changed it to a saltwater lake because somebody realized that was stupid.
So not even Shark Night could happen in Lake Erie because it is.
When I was a kid, I wrote a Jaws film. When I was like 13, 14 years old, I wrote a Jaws film called Jaws: The New Terror, and in The New Terror. The idea of The New Terror was that the sharks were swimming upstream into lakes and were feeding on basically coastal town people in order to get salt so they could survive. I was 13 or 14 years old when I wrote this. And it involves somebody being attacked by a shark, and then the town doesn't believe him because there's no sharks.
Of course.
The people think it's a shark wound, but it doesn't make any sense. So they think maybe he got caught on something, and it just happened to resemble a shark.
Like bear trap or something.
Yeah, caught in a bear trap.
Yeah.
In the water.
In the water.
What is up with that man's overalls?
I missed the overalls.
We'll see it again.
All right.
We'll see it again. In a really bad post of, "Mom," or Daddy, look at the fish. He'll be the guy that she's holding hands with, I believe. It's coming up. Look at all that green. But yeah, it involved this person getting bit, and then they like go out into the open lake. And
oh wow.
Yeah, that's
like
amazing.
painter's pants.
That's just 1983 for you.
Yep.
We did not know what to wear or anything.
Daddy, look at the fish.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, there it is. That's the guy.
He's like, holy shit, look at all that green. You can literally see the green screen reflecting off.
and around the shark here. It's so bad.
This is a cool shot.
It is. All the reflections.
That's a very
everything.
classic. It reminds me of The Blob.
Hi. Hey, I'm a shark.
I like how the shark is like a dick. The shark's like, I'm gonna kill all those motherfuckers. There's
Before
tons of shit I could kill in this water, but I'm gonna kill these people.
Before the shark did that, I don't know why they assumed they were in danger. They started like freaking out before the shark did anything.
Yeah, well, because the shark was coming toward them.
Yeah, but
you don't know.
They're still in an underwater, like,
if you were in an
protected
underwater unit and you saw a great white shark that was 35 feet long.
All right, I guess I might freak out
scared.
a little bit. I might freak out.
I'd be scared it could go through. This is the guy that looks like Matthew McConaughey. There's like a guy here, and there's a guy who looks like Rob Lowe in here too. Every time I watch the movie, they distract the hell out of me. So I'm like, there's the Rob Lowe guy. And there's the Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Making copies.
That's not.
Oh, that's Rob Schneider. Entirely different Rob.
It's not Roy Scheider either. Roy Scheider making copies.
It's almost better. My mind went to completely wrong Rob.
My mind's telling me no. There's the Rob Lowe guy and the Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, there they are.
Oh
That
God.
doesn't look
weird,
anything
right?
like Rob Schneider.
Oh God. That stash though. Oh God.
Oh yeah, it's like pubic hair.
Oh.
I'm gonna be watching the rest of the movie, see if I can
It
find
makes me
something that
feel
looks like Rob Schneider.
uncomfortable.
You're gonna find some guy who looks like me, and I'll be like, "That's me."
There I am.
There I am. I'm like
told
70
you.
I'm
Time
75
travel.
years old in this movie.
That's when time travel is invented.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell by your age.
Yeah. I might be in the background of this shot. That might be me right there with the overalls. It's not though.
Oh.
That's not what I would do in this movie. The problem is that one, I weigh too much, and two, I'm 6'5". So there's no way I'm going to be an background extra in a movie. But I could potentially be in the crowd scene.
That's true. You could be like the audience for one of the shows.
I should pause it and see if I'm there.
Yep.
Future self, wave. Or maybe flick me off so I know for sure.
Wear a bright pink shirt. That's what you should do.
With the words, "Hi, my name is Randy."
And wave.
Coke. Product placement.
Yeah. All the horror movies, if you can consider this. It's more of a disaster movie.
Yeah.
The first Jaws is probably horror.
Yeah.
I'd say the first film is kind of more like a political thriller because the town doesn't want to deal with the shark.
Yeah.
And then the second half of it is more like an adventure because they go out in the open ocean and face the shark. The second film is like a slasher film.
Right. Absolutely.
Where the shark is going after hapless teens, and its kills are more methodical and more angry. Mm-hmm. This one I'd say is a disaster movie and a monster movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Like
it's sort of a loose remake of I think it's Return of the Creature or Revenge of the Creature. I think it's Revenge of the Creature.
Okay.
Which is Creature from the Black Lagoon. Mm-hmm. It's the sequel, and in that film, the creature is captured, brought to marine world, and then it gets loose and things go nuts. This is kind of a loose remake of it in some ways. But I think because of that, it has that monster movie and disaster film sort of combination.
Absolutely.
And then the fourth movie is sort of like a Lifetime movie, mixed with a weird supernatural ghost story thing because the shark is like evil and coming after the
There's
Brodies.
voodoo.
I think on the whole, I think this is a better movie. Jaws, like if you can compare 3 and 4, I think this is it's a more enjoyable movie. I do think Jaws: The Revenge fits more with Jaws 1 and 2.
Okay.
Just because you've got a couple rollover cast members. The story was handled with maybe a little more. It was trying to capture 1 and 2. It just doesn't.
Right.
It just fails miserably. And it's really funny. Though I think on the whole, I'd say this is this is the best one in terms of the bad sequels. This is the best bad sequel. And then this one's written by Carl Gottlieb, who helped write Jaws 1 and Jaws 2. It's produced by, it's directed by Joe Alves, who was a effects designer, I believe, on Jaws 1 and 2, and maybe second unit photography on Jaws 2.
Okay.
And he so a lot of the people working on it behind the camera, like they had an intimate knowledge of Jaws and were trying, I think, to give an exciting adventure story, and they deliver a pretty concise, really, I'd say, well-paced disaster film. That's not good. Please,
we're not saying it's good.
If there's anybody in the comments who's like, this movie sucks, I hate Jaws. No, I know. If you don't like Jaws 3, you're never gonna like Jaws 3. I love Jaws 3. And I
I find it thoroughly entertaining. Like, again, not good, but
not good.
Very entertaining.
Very entertaining movie. I the music here, like the gravity and seriousness, everybody's working really hard to get people to save lives, and to their credit, I don't think a single guest dies in the movie.
Yeah.
I think some people get injured on the beach, though they get injured because the craft falls apart more than anything else. the people standing on that floating barge, it sort of collapsed and then
Okay.
they fall in. It looks like some people got cut, but it doesn't look like the shark kills anybody. And they mentioned that no one died. So they do, they do manage to make sure that none of the guests die.
That might have been a stipulation from
Yep.
SeaWorld.
Probably
That's-
was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that's why Kelly, the skier, does not die as well. She simply gets bit, and you don't. Her
Recovers.
and Sean Brody are out of the film now. You won't see them again for the rest of the.
So she gets bit on the leg and then like
You never. There's
no follow up.
no resolution whatsoever to what happened there.
That's interesting. But no, that would make sense again if the actual Jurassic Park allowed Jurassic Park to be made in their park. They'd probably be like, okay, you can eat some staff members. No eating the guests.
Yeah. In many ways, you could probably say that Jurassic Park is kind of Jaws 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, here's the idea of Jaws 3 done maybe on the right scale.
Right.
I also find it interesting how Jurassic World in particular almost feels like a sequel to Westworld and Future World.
Whoa. Now we're getting...
Which Westworld is written and directed by Michael Crichton, who would
Great
write Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah.
So we should do a commentary on Westworld sometime.
Absolutely. I love
Maybe
that
around the
movie.
time the show returns or comes back or comes on, because there's a brand new show coming to HBO.
Oh
very
really?
soon. Yeah. Like
Oh.
Anthony Hopkins and
That's something I will be possibly downloading illegally because I don't have HBO.
you can get a free trial. Get it for like a month.
You didn't hear what I just said.
You can get it for a month.
Hmm.
You can get or like get the HBO Now, which is like $12.95,
Okay.
and
Wait
just get
until
it.
all of them are available.
Wait till all of them are, and then
And
binge
just
watch
like
them.
binge watch them.
We did that with Stars with Ash vs. Evil Dead.
All right.
We just got the service for like
That
a month.
sounds like a respectable way to get the content legally,
legally, properly.
Because I'm always in favor of doing that if I
Doing
can.
things legally.
Yep.
I nowadays I'm like, yeah, it's easy enough to get that stuff. Why break the law?
Oh yeah. For the most part, it's actually more work to do it.
More work, and it's much more dangerous. You can get fines. There's all
Yep.
kinds of shit that can happen.
Yep.
So,
Now there was an era where digital content was much sparser,
Yep.
like official digital content, and so if you actually if you wanted to get the digital versions of
It
things,
wasn't available anywhere.
that was the only option. Fortunately, now not as much. So
Look how slow the shark is moving toward them. He's just like, what's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing?
So you mentioned earlier the fact that things were sped up a little bit, but like underwater scenes are one of those things that it's hard to make exciting because things move
So
so
fluidly.
slow.
which is my biggest problem with the film Thunderball, the James Bond film, because it's like half an hour of underwater sequences
Yep.
towards the end.
Yeah, it gets
That-
dull.
It just gets
agree.
so boring.
I actually kind of like the remake a little more,
Mm-hmm.
just because of that, because they fix that a little bit.
Right. What was the name of the remake? Which one was that?
You Only Live Twice?
Yes.
Is that it? No.
Was
Come on, I'm a Bond
I
fan.
I
should
literally
know this.
watched it like 2 weeks ago because they added a ton of Bond movies.
Maybe it is
to,
You Only Live Twice. I think that's another one. That's the one where he came back.
I'm gonna ask the internet.
Oh, you're gonna do it?
Hey, internet.
Remake of Thunderball?
Yep. Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, because they added a whole bunch of James Bond movies to Amazon Prime, and so my wife was out of town for a weekend, and what do you do when your wife's out of town for a weekend? You watch a whole lot of James Bond. is what
Never
you do.
say never again.
Never say never again. There it is.
Everybody is like in the comments being like, "It's never say never again." Why you know it?
God.
Because my brain isn't calibrated.
because
for that right
Bond
now.
movies.
My brain's calibrated for Jaws.
Whoa.
Bond movie titles
Ooh.
all start to blend together after a while because
Except slower.
I was just about to do the floating controller.
floating slowly towards you.
Like a dead arm in the water.
I'm just gonna keep eating popcorn.
Creates depth. I like how the shark crunches him to death, which I never really understood why the shark does that to him. It seems like originally he was supposed to be wearing the wire mesh suit that she's wearing earlier, and that's why the shark kills him this way. But he's not wearing the wire mesh suit, so it makes no sense that the shark kills him. Why doesn't the shark just eat him normal? But because if he were wearing the wire or the chainmail, the shark would actually have a really hard time killing him, and so
would have to crunch him to death.
But I just want to point out, because that scene is amazing, that we got to see the inside of the shark's mouth as it killed a man. And also the sound effects in that scene are fucking incredible. They're just the most disgusting sounding bone crackly crunch sounds like I've ever heard.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm sorry, I passed that off camera. I should have.
You crazy.
I'm new at this 3D thing.
Calvin. Fred is supposed to be the nephew of Louis Gossett Jr.'s character. You will also tell he has a New Orleans accent.
Yeah. So that's background that's never given in the film itself. It's
he does say Louis Gossett says, no, listen, nephew. He says that, and it's like the best delivery next to, because it costs too much to replace and to burn out. That's why. I love Louis Gossett Jr. Louis Gossett, I hope you're listening. You're probably not, but maybe somebody who knows Louis Gossett can let him know that I love him and he's amazing. What in this movie.
What other films would I know him from?
Iron Eagle.
Okay.
Iron Eagle.
Did you bring the flamethrower that we could shoot at the camera in 3D?
I don't. I wish we had a flamethrower. I've been trying to obtain one. I don't even know if they're legal in our state, so I think they are, though.
I believe they actually are legal in Ohio.
The guy across the street kills weeds in his yard with it.
Heck.
Nice.
You ever think of just trying to get friendly with him and asking to borrow it for?
No, he looks like he fights dragons.
Well, just tell him you got a dragon in your backyard.
It sounds like he's saying Gumball here. Gumball. This is where he says. There's no other way out. It sounds like he says album out. Album out! You don't understand. Come on, you bloody bastard! Logs on
According
me.
to Wikipedia, Louis Gossett Jr. is best known for his role in An Officer and a Gentleman.
Yeah. Digstown's another one. Roots.
Okay.
Iron Eagle.
Toy Soldiers.
Oh yeah, Enemy Mine. Also with Dennis Quaid. He's a great actor and great character actor, and has been around for many, many years. I think he's about 80 years old now.
He is exactly 80 years old.
Wow. Nailed it.
And I'm assuming he's still working. I don't know, but I always love when he shows up.
Oh yeah, he was on Touched by an Angel.
I think everyone was on Touched by an Angel at some point. It was like the Law and Order of its day. Like everyone
The
rolled.
order of its day.
Everyone
As
cut
far
their
as
teeth
like,
on.
Oh my God.
every actor showed up in it at some point. They were getting their career going.
Here you've got the shark is literally bending metal. And I remember when I watched this with my dad many a year ago. My dad worked in metalworking and was so annoyed because he's like, that metal would be stainless steel. There is no way that shark would bend that metal. And he would get so mad about it. He'd just be like angry, like shouting at the screen, like, that metal won't bend. There's no way they put aluminum in there. That would be stainless steel because it wouldn't rust.
Did he have any thoughts on jet fuel and steel beams?
I don't know. But yeah, he was definitely not a fan of this moment. I love it because the shark escapes. Oh, you're still like on like you are on the Louis Gossett train right now. You're just like looking everything up.
Riding it all
Well,
the
you
way
asked
home.
if he was doing anything recently, and he is.
Oh, good.
He has, got
quite a few films going on.
Five for 2016. 6.
Well, he's a character actor, so he does a lot of films.
Oh, he plays the voice of God in Come to the Garden.
All right.
I could picture
Oh my
him
God!
being
Right
a
as somebody said, "Oh my God." Oh my God.
That's a different movie.
Yeah. We'll do a commentary on that one at some point too. Now the shark has to back out, which is impossible.
Yep. Not something.
I also
sharks do.
love that there's water coming out of underneath his fin. You can see water bubbling out of his like body
Ew.
constantly. I really love this shark, but the bubbles is really distracting. And he's about to come up and be like, "Hi,
Hi."
And once again, he always sounds like he's got a motorcycle inside of his mouth. It's like weird grunty sound that it makes. This may be the dolphin v shark moments coming up. Masterful. Great shot. It's like, wait, did the image just go out?
It's something. I actually was looking at the projector like, did the projector just die?
Oh,
Did
God.
something
That would be
happen?
a sad, sad day. We could finish the commentary still. I could be like, this is what's happening right now.
Like, so at this time, this is what would be happening.
The shark is coming toward them, going to attack them. He's saying, "Oh, hello, hello." The shark is British. Hello there, hello, Governor.
Governor.
I'm here for that other guy, P.H. Moriarty. I'm going to kill him because I don't like him. I don't know why. The shark is against P.H. Moriarty. I killed Manimal.
It's just not very nice at all.
Porkindale.
Manimal. I've McCooked his tail. Well, did the shark just kill the dolphin?
I think the shark might have just killed the dolphin.
He didn't, I know.
Ah.
But we're meant.
Like,
we're
why are
meant
you
to
asking
We're
that?
supposed to
he
think. We're supposed to think
did. We are meant to think. he
and
did.
feel so sad. Like, oh, we killed
Not the dolphin.
not the dolphin.
Sand people always go. Different movie. Now the shark here is about to stop that metal door with the corner of his mouth, and only one tooth will come through. Corner of the door. The most inexplicable thing in this whole movie. I mean, there's a lot of inexplicable things, but this is the most. You cannot explain this.
Yeah, the like
This-
geometry of like one tooth. That's all I need. One tooth.
Wedge it in there.
Like he like put his mouth like against the door and was like, it doesn't make sense. Folks, we're almost done with this movie. Wow. Jaws 3D is almost done.
Oh my god.
I hope we did enough 3D effects for you guys, and I hope they worked
My glasses need repair.
in 3D.
This carpet needs to be swept.
It really does.
It really does. It genuinely needs to be swept up.
Where's the- oh,
It goes into that
here,
slot
I
right
see.
there.
Needs to be swept.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my god. I hope that came out and was
No,
not a blur.
that's not 3D anymore. There we
This
go.
is the best part.
Turn the glasses off for
The
a
shark
second.
is the shark is about to break through the glass, and then Deep Blue Sea will steal it many years later. But it'll make more sense in Deep Blue Sea how the shark does it. Oh, I always love that little lady holding her hand. She's great. And then the nerdy Rick Moranis guy over in the corner. Rob Lowe's really happy about all this. He's like, "Oh, good, I can go back to being Rob Lowe." All right.
Still haven't seen you or Rob Schneider in here. I'm still looking.
That's me right there.
You're looking good.
And the camera just stays here for a few minutes.
It's like, no need to pan over
Here's
or
where
cut
you-
to anything else.
This is great. The shark doesn't like move at all, and you can see the outline of like how they moved it. You can actually see like the pain that they.
Slow motion.
Crappy slow motion. What are they shouting? It looks like he just shouted shark.
I probably did.
Mike Brody, master of obvious.
Shark!
Oh my gosh.
This is the scene where we flood the Permanently Geek set with water.
Yeah, and throw glass at the camera.
Oh my god, that would be the worst. Good thing they still have their air tanks on. Louis Gossett makes it out of the film. We won't see him anymore, but his nephew gone.
Yeah, earlier in the film.
The crunching here when it chews him up, it'll cut back. I mean, again, earning its PG rating. Jeez.
It's actually closed captioned crunching.
Crunching, cutting that man in half.
Yeah, earlier in the film, they're getting out of the water. They can't even keep their goggles on for the 2 seconds it would take them to get out of the water.
Yeah.
But here they're just in their full gear, sitting around in the room.
Well, that's probably one of the best visual effects in the whole movie is the stop motion shark. It's way too big, but because it looks like it's about an 85-foot shark. It's like a megalodon there.
Is that a hand coming out of his mouth?
Yeah, because he's not dead.
Yeah, he's in the shark, but he's not dead yet.
Even though it doesn't
I'm
make
not
sense
dead
because
yet.
he's not the one wearing the chainmail in the scene. He should be wearing chainmail. It would make way more sense. Just saying.
He did get severely crunched, but he's not dead yet.
No, he's dead. He just didn't get to pull the pin, apparently. I don't know why. Maybe the shark broke his arm. Shark's like, hey.
Where are you going? Where are you going? I'm just gonna go back and forth.
The music here is some of my favorite music in the entire score. It's great. Just the way they use the string section is just great. I always liked this convention of like they bend this metal and this is like how they kill the shark. I always thought it was clever. It's stupid, but it's clever. And I liked that I loved this when I was a kid. This is probably one of the best scenes of the whole movie for me when I was a kid. And this 3D explosion right here. Boom! Look at that.
Explosion of blood.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have any popcorn over here to throw at you.
Random bits of teeth and shit coming
Jaws
toward you. Jaws.
Ah, the jaws. They come right at us.
That's why they did it.
Genius.
3D jaws. There
This is
they
the best
were.
one. This is the best Jaws film. It's the only one that has Jaws at the end.
There you go.
I don't call the shark Jaws. People call the shark Jaws. Sometimes I hate that. The shark is either the shark or Bruce.
We did it!
Because Bruce was the name of the shark, the nickname of the shark in the first movie.
Mm.
So I usually just call it the shark, though.
Wait, are we about to get the best final still frame ever?
Oh yeah, this ends in pure 1983 fashion with a freeze frame.
I love it so much.
And it's like not because they clearly shot this somewhere else and then matted the dolphins in, so there's like these awful matte lines around the shark or around the dolphins, not the shark. The shark just jumps out. He's like, I learned a trick. Believe it or not, the producers originally wanted this to be the same shark from Jaws 2. The shark apparently survived. So I like that the dolphin is one of the only animals in the entire film that actually gets a completed subplot because Cindy and Sandy were having a difficult time doing that behavior.
Okay.
And then she's doing it now. And that's the end of the movie.
There-
All
yeah.
right. Hand down. There you go. Gotta get that 3D right.
Oh my god.
It's in 3 dimensions. I will come and get you all. Hopefully that's right. Yeah. Slow clap.
Wow.
Rupert Hitzik. So
Yeah.
that was Jaws 3.
It was.
Hopefully that was enough trivia for you for the film. I know quite a bit about it, but I think
say,
I gave enough trivia. I hope.
I feel like it was populated with plenty of information to
Plenty of
make it more
information.
than just 3D gimmicks for an hour and a half.
Again, folks, if you want to know more about this movie, IMDb, Wikipedia, and then that jaws-3d.com.
Good stuff.
If hopefully that site's still running and there's a wealth of information. It's in French, but Google Translate. You got it. It's such a fun movie. I like it. It's my secret kind of.
Your guilty pleasure.
It's my favorite guilty pleasure. It's in no way a masterpiece, but in no way is it like a completely unentertaining movie.
Oh yeah, and
It is entertaining.
I honestly think this is the third time I've seen this movie, and all of them were with you.
Yeah.
But there's something about like your enthusiasm for the movie that I think spills over a little bit.
Yeah.
So if I were just watching it by myself, I might be like, this is stupid. But like just the fact that you love it so much
And know so much about
and
it.
know so much about it, it makes it, I like it as well because of that.
Yeah.
And maybe
So-
you will too.
Maybe
you at
will
home.
too.
3 dimensions. SeaWorld, Shamu, Cindy, all copyrights. The cast is at the end. The cast is like, don't. You don't
Like,
have to.
no.
You don't have to.
You
You,
can-
don't
you
have
can
to
skip
put
it.
us first.
You could-
It's okay.
You can just skip it all
Thank
together.
you,
leave us
Bachtel.
out of there.
Have Cindy copyrighted?
Cindy and Sandy, yeah. That probably weren't their. I don't know what their real names were.
Beer belly on beach.
There's me. I was in the movie.
Randy!
My name was Jim.
Yeah,
Wilhelm.
there you are.
That's one of the guys that steals the coral that gets killed.
Huh. Why'd you go and do that?
I don't know.
That's a
sorry.
douchey thing to do.
Alan Landsberg, thank you for this film. Without you, this movie wouldn't exist, and we just would have Jaws of Revenge, which is a garbage film, but also really hilarious, and I love it.
All right.
So, folks, that was Jaws 3D in 3D, and hopefully this commentary was also in 3D. I'm doing the honka-honka right here. I don't know why I'm doing that. So,
Are you
folks...
casting spells on them? Is that what you're doing right now?
Expelliarmus! So, folks, thank you so very, very much for listening to this, watching it, and enjoying along. We'll be back probably next month with another commentary. Thank you so much. This is Watch With Us. I am Randy.
I'm Michael McFarland.
Dana?
You can follow us on Twitter at Permanently Geek and subscribe below. And we'll see you on the next movie. Maybe that one will be 3D too. Who knows?
Maybe it'll
Or
be
we'll
4D.
never do this again because it was incredibly complicated.
There's a lot more that went into this one than really any other commentary
Yep.
we've ever done before.
Yeah.
The most additional we'd had before, hair products.
All right, well, I'm going to do my dick in 3D, so...